So Sissa bin Dahir, he was the inventor of chess. The king of India says, I'll grant you anything you want as a result of this invention. Dahir says he wants 1 kernel of rice for every square of the chessboard, squared by itself, 64 sections in all. The king thinks he's getting off easily until he does the math. Right? On the first square, 1 piece of rice. On the second, 2 kernels. On the third, 4. On the fourth, 16. But eventually, 1 kernel of rice squared by itself 64 times is 153 billion tons of rice, more than the world could harvest for the next 1,000 years. The king couldn't grant the request. Dahir understood exponential growth. So did Jesus. Jesus once said that the kingdom of God is like a mustard seed. Though it's the smallest of all seeds, it grows to become a shrub that the birds of the air can come and build nests in its branches. My name is Ray. I'm the pastor of college and emerging adult ministries. We do some creative, courageous things in ministry. We have a Sunday night gathering called Praxis, where we serve dinner and we have communion, and young people offer their gifts in worship. We gather for dinner, table for 8 to 10, every other week almost. Around some of your tables, you've opened up your hearts and homes. And we have a youth ministry, if you go a little younger, where lots of middle schoolers gathering on Wednesday night for games and to learn about Jesus. And also a few high schoolers. We're sending kids to camp. We're doing lots of courageous and creative things. But I'm not just talking, when I'm talking about growth, not just speaking to people who come to a program. I'm also talking about anchoring young people in a lifelong journey of following Jesus, so that they bear kingdom fruit their whole life long. What's that look like? How do churches do that well? Dave Kinnaman and Mark Madlock did research for Barna and found that for those young people who wind up following Jesus resiliently into their 30s, throughout adulthood, they experience church, they experience their congregation as a place where they are loved and valued, right? 83% of them do. And 75%, so 3/4, say that the church is like a family to them. And interestingly, that number drops radically if people just kind of show up to church every once in a while. 50% say they feel loved and valued. And if they used to show up to church and don't anymore, 25%. In other words, for young people who feel loved and valued, they are 2 to 3 times more likely to follow Jesus into adulthood, anchoring themselves in a lifelong journey of following him. That's exponential kingdom growth. And we ask you to give a little bit of warmth or a little bit of your resources. We're asking you to help us to be a family together, to help us to be a family business with a mission of anchoring young people in a lifelong journey of following Christ. Your warmth, your welcome, your hospitality, your non-judgment, your like a family goes a long way. And every time you offer a little bit of warmth, it matters. Every time you also give of your resource, you help us, you support us do what we do to create sacred spaces that are warm for young people. Think about it this way. A little bit of warmth or a little bit of resource means 1 more piece of rice on that chessboard or 1 mustard seed of kingdom growth. And together, I believe that eventually we'll see young people growing into adulthood who offer the world exponential kingdom fruit. That's our vision. We're glad you're part of it. Grace and peace.